Hey there everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to the Galaxy Last Week for July 31st. Got a lot to talk about up here, starting with Krrsantan, Jabba the Hutt, Profundity ship, crystal income, why you want to farm Profundity, mod management, Datacron set number 3, Ahsoka Tano, Fulcrum Omicron, Heinz's interview with Crumb and Gridden, KOTOR delayed, and the calendar for August. Lot to say. I'm going to try to keep it focused, and I'm not going to deviate too far out of the holotables this episode. I took last week off, went on vacation, had a wonderful time. I got a few messages from folks asking where's the show. Thanks. I really appreciate that. If you haven't liked or subbed my channel yet and you're watching this and you enjoy it, please do so. It takes just a few seconds and means a lot to me. It really does. It touches me here. Okay, moving on. Let's get it started, shall we? So Krrsantan came to the tables, as I'm sure everybody knows. And if you are just still totally in the dark, he was a main character-ish, kind of, on the Book of Boba Fett. Probably the best thing, I think, in that series. Anyway, he came to the tables. He was a marquee character. He's still in the store right now, or in the events, but not for long. If you don't know much about him, he's a tank, he's a dark side, and he's a Hutt cartel for the new GL Jabba the Hutt coming, which I'll hit in a second. I'm not going to go into his kit. That's not what the purpose of this video is. It's more to delineate information. So if you want to know more about the Krrsantan, what he's good at, what his weaknesses are so far, I suggest you hop over to Onalty 101. This video right here, there's a link in the description down below. He goes over the kit in detail and gives a lot of discussion about it, shows several fights. So far, the reception from the community has been very wobbly. Some people loving, but a lot of people going meh. But who knows? It's early, and his faction, his new Hutt cartel faction, is yet to be really built out. So we're gonna have to wait and see how that goes. Now, Galactic Legend Jabba the Hutt. We got our first 5 requirements, which does include that Krrsantan. Han Solo at Relic 8, which is impressive, but most people probably already have him relicked anyway at this point, or a lot of people do if you are been playing for a while, mid to late game. Gamorrean Guard, which is gonna be a farm for almost everybody. Greedo, and then the Outrider ship, which recently came. Now, there are speculations out the wazoo as to what the other requirements are going to be, and here is what I think we're going to need a few of, maybe not all. Cad Bane, Embo, Mob Enforcer, Lando. Yes, Lando worked for the Hutt cartel for a while. Bib Fortuna, and who is that? Not Leia. Yes, Leia was in that outfit, but Leia was in disguise in the movie. She was trying to pass herself off as a bounty hunter. I believe the name is pronounced Boushh, or I'm not sure. Boushh. At that point, I think in the Star Wars galaxy, the bounty hunter had been killed, but she was trying to pass off her disguise. Anyway, I think that could be a new marquee character along with Bib. EV-99, the droid that was also in Book of Boba Fett, I think is a very possible. Skiff Guards, I think is a possible marquee. IG-86 has no place in the game right now, no purpose, no function. I think that could be a requirement similar to Gamorrean Guard. It's just one of those, like, hey, I think you need to relic this guy. Jabba, and I'm not so sold on Dad Bod Boba. Now, there's also sort of a confirmation that Crumb is coming into the game. That's the little goblin-like critter down there. I do not believe it will be its own character. I do believe it would be part of Jabba the Hutt's kit, or even on his character. Like, I think we could see Jabba on that bed thing, like in the picture right over here, right over there. There it is. Aha. And I think we could see him on there, and maybe there's a move where he does something interesting. I think that would be a lot of fun. There's been speculation that Leia is going to be required. I don't think so. Leia, I mean, yeah, she definitely could be. I was wrong about Jabba coming to the game. My system, the way I predict my GLs is the same way that we could have predicted Jabba if we had known about the Hutt cartel faction. Because we didn't have that faction, my database was meh, but many of these same characters are still being needed. I said absolutely, Gamorrean Guard, Greedo, and there they are. Anyway, we're not, sorry, that's not the point of this episode. So, if you want to know more about Jabba the Hutt, speculations, what it might do, might not do, check out the videos right beneath me here. I will link to some of those if you wish in the descriptions down below. But there, you just Google or search in YouTube Jabba the Hutt, SWGOH, and you'll get all kinds of speculation. One thing I do expect to see in the kit, and this is just kind of wishful thinking, I have no evidence of it, but I would not be at all surprised if we see an ultimate move where Jabba the Hutt hits a button and a Rancor arm, like in the raids, swaps down and picks up and devours a character, or the ground opens up and they drop into a Rancor pit or something. I think that's definitely a possibility. I think that would be a fan favorite. So I expect to see Jabba have instant kill ability. I think that'll be just wickedly cool. Moving on, shall we? The Profundity also finally got announced. We got the prerequisite list right over here. I got to learn how to point in these videos. There it is. Here's below me are my characters. You can see I am almost there. I need 4 more relic levels for Radis, 3 more for Hera, and my Outrider needs about 50 shards, which I'm totally going to get that in time, I believe. So I am aiming for day 1 Profundity unlock. And I know the vast majority of people are not going to be able to do that, but I think you should strongly consider stopping whatever farm you have now, if you have not already, and focus entirely on getting the Profundity. And I'm going to explain in a second. There's some real serious reasons for it. There is the possibility that Profundity whiffs, a lot like people feel the Grand Inquisitor did, but I kind of don't think so. I think that we very well may be moving into another year of meta like we had with Executor dominating, and I think Profundity will cap that, will trump the Executor. So if that happens, and this is speculation, but if that happens, you need to think about this. 1 year of reaching number 1 in your fleet shard is the equivalent of earning 146,000 crystals in 1 year. I mean, think about that. So I've had Executor. Before that, I skipped Negotiator completely. I used Rebels. I still held number 1 against the top 100, which were all Negotiators and Finalizers and Malevolences at the time. Still got to number 1 every day. And that's because I wanted those crystals. 400 crystals a day is 146,000 crystals. Now, if you break that down, divided by 2,800 and then multiply by $20, then that gives you an annual income, you could say, of $1,042 if you just bought crystal packs for the same amount of crystals. I mean, that's $1,042 in free income from your ships. Now, what happens if you don't have Profundity? This is assuming that Profundity becomes the dominant meta. Right now, if you go to SWGOH.gg and you look, 91% of the number 1 fleets, 91%, I think it is 91%, maybe it was even 94%, are Executor. That means all the other fleets are just pushed out, probably not even in the top 20 in most places. So if you lose, if your shard ends up with just a couple Profundities that you cannot beat, let's just imagine that's the case, which is very plausible, and your daily crystal income drops from 400 to 350, you basically lose $1,000, $1,030 in crystal income. Right? You lose, in other words, you lose 18,000 daily crystals over the course of a year. If you get kicked out of the top 20 and you're only getting 100 crystals a day, you're losing 110,000 crystals amortized over the year. In other words, you're losing $800 of crystal value at the $20 packs. So, like, do you need another GL? Do you need that Star Killer? Do you need the GOs for something? Maybe, probably. Yes, they're great characters to have. But ships is the number 1 easiest place to ensure income in this game. It really, really, really is. Early game, go straight into Rebels and you will dominate for a long time. Mid game, switch to Negotiator or Hold, or just max out the crap out of Rebels in your effort to work towards Profundity. And if this Profundity, like I said, performs like Executor, ding! Here's where your money is, like literal money. So this is where you should farm. All right, moving on. We also got a lot of updates to future quality of life for modding, searching mods, editing mods, upgrading mods. This is an expanded screenshot that Capital Gains gave us. I'm not going to go into it. There's a link in the description down below. You can go read their post in the State of the Galaxy or whatever it was, the road ahead. Don't remember which. But there's a lot of great stuff here. A lot of people are saying it's basically Hot Utils, which is it's a third-party app that helps you in the game with mods and stuff. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I will say that I have never touched that app. I would speculate probably that 98% of all SWGOH gamers have never touched it, or probably 90% have never even heard about it. Keep in mind, if you're watching this video, you are in a minority. There are over 1 million active accounts. CG previously said there were 2 million active accounts a couple years ago. Who knows what there really is in real life today, but we are a minority just for the fact that we're watching this and engaging at such a high level. So this is going to be fantastic for the overwhelming majority of players. But if you are one of those people who have bought or subscribed to Hot Utils, then this is probably not reaching as far as it does. Again, I've never used it, so I don't know. I personally am just very, very happy to see some of this come into the game, where you can do all kinds of things, like see, for example, when you roll your stats, is it good? Is it on the bottom end? After you play the game forever, you kind of start to learn. You're like, oh, that's not a good roll. But it's very, very hard, especially for early mid gamers. So this kind of a screen right here is super, super helpful for assessing your mods. They also give us a batch mod tool to upgrade and do all kinds of stuff. And again, that is just fabulous. That's a really, really good QOL, quality of life improvement. Can't wait to get it. Datacron Set 3 has been shared, and I'm not going to spoil it. There's a link again in the description down below if you want to read about it. They've got these spoilers here. You can click on them to see some stuff about it. There is one thing I will say specifically, that there is a bonus for Sith Eternal that paper value looks great, but in reality it may not be. It gives him a bonus 20% of charge to start the match for each Sith ally, so he can start the match at 80% charge. But you actually don't want that. I mean, like, probably don't want that, because the more turns your opponents with Deceive or who are linked take, every turn that they take, he gains 10% mastery. And so in a lot of games, you actually just want to kind of stall and delay and delay and delay and delay so that he gains all that mastery, and then pop the ultimate and do maximum damage. So doing the ultimate super early in the match actually kind of hinders his effectiveness a bit. So be careful there. Be careful. Also, we got Ahsoka Fulcrum. We got an Omicron from her. I haven't seen a lot. I've heard a bunch of people say it's pretty wicked. She basically becomes the Territory Wars version of Wampa in GAC. There's a video right here you can check out, right there, right over here. This one comes to us from eBay user General Scar. I don't know the account. There's not a lot of subscribers there, but he shares this video of soloing Relic 7 and General Grievous and team, and it was pretty darn simple. It was just kind of fun to watch, but of course you can see some much more detailed videos from some of the other bigger YouTubers out there, but just wanted to share this one. It looks like a really, really awesome kit, basically, like I said, a Wampa style, but it's Territory Wars, so I don't know. Is it Territory Wars? Territory Wars. Territory Wars, right. Territory Wars. Speaking of Capital Games Direct, so CG Crumb was a guest on Heinz's channel with Gridden down there. They did about an hour-long interview. I'm not going to spoil it. If you were looking for any profound statements, of course, we don't get those, not directly, but there was some really good acknowledgments and some good sharing there. And if you feel that some of your feedback about some recent disappointments has not been heard, rest assured that Heinze and Gridden did share those. I was very happy to see that they expressed the concerns they have, but they also, I think, balanced it very well and gave CG Crumb a great opportunity to address some of these things. So it's a good interview. I definitely recommend watching it if you love this game and want to stay up to date. All right. Also outside the tables, Knights of the Old Republic, the upcoming new video game has been delayed indefinitely. Aspire is having some troubles. They abruptly fired some higher tier management, and the reports are that they are struggling with some internal organization, and the game may or may not be revived at some point. So if you were waiting for a Galactic Legend, Revan Reborn, or more Old Republic content, that might be put on the back burner now, because Capital Games tends to align their releases with what's happening outside there, right? We got all the Inquisitors for the Kenobi show, Jabba the Hutt. You're asking probably why now? Well, guess what? Next year is the 40th anniversary of Star Wars Return of the Jedi. So that makes sense, which is also why I think the next GL will also be from Return of the Jedi. Leia. Still believe that one. Anyway, if you want to read this article here from PC Gamer, link is in the description. And finally, just a reminder that on August 5th, we got Star Wars Summer Vacation coming to us online. And then we've got on Disney Plus. And then at the end of the month, we've got Andor, which looks epic. I think it is going to be great. It is going to be dark. It is not a tale of one person, even though it's kind of named after him. But it's gonna give us like a macro picture of the Star Wars galaxy for the 5 years leading up to A New Hope. Anyway, or not A New Hope. Yeah, A New Hope, right? The Rogue One movie, Rogue One. That was the name of it. Anyway, and then here's the calendar below. If you haven't seen it, screenshot it. I think there's something interesting worth noting here. They did name the calendar August Burns Red, but that is also CG Crumb's, one of his favorite bands' name. But they have a song, their number one song is called, I think, Trench Run or something like that, which of course could be pointing towards a Death Star trench run, which could be a raid, or Red 5 the X-Wing. I don't know. There's all kinds of speculation on that. I don't think that we would actually get Luke Skywalker Red 5 right now. I think that there's too much happening in the game with Krrsantan and Jabba the Hutt and Profundity to also get such a mega wanted character as Red 5 at the exact same time. It seems to me to be too much overlap, and I think that Capital Games, like any smart business, would want to delay and spread out all that excitement over a longer period of time. So I'm not too sure that that's what that means. But something else, if you look at the Omega battles, the Assault battles, and the Territory battles, I don't know if it's always like this, but what stood out to me is we got Rebels, then Ewoks in Omega. And then Assault, we've got Rebels, then Forest Moon, which is Ewoks. And then in Territory battles, we got Rebels first. So Rebels are all first. And then Ewoks are second, where they have a relation. That might mean nothing, but that could be a clue, actually. Again, Return of the Jedi is 40th anniversary is very soon. Jabba the Hutt, Rebels, Ewoks. I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I definitely went over the time I wanted. If you're still here, I appreciate your support. Once again, please give me that like and subscribe, and I will catch you all later. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.